Hello, this is Dan Rather, and you're watching America's chosen network, JLTV.
Recent satellite images reveal that Iran has built new missile launch sites, which appear to be for testing long-range ballistic missiles that can be armed with nuclear warheads. Here's more in this report.
Iran has constructed a new rocket launching site. According to security sources, it could be used for testing ballistic missiles. Satellite imagery showed extensive construction over the last 3 years at a site of an area to prepare rockets for launch and an administration and support section. Assertion about the site near the town of Sharhut comes weeks after the government of the Islamic Republic declared their ambitious goals to build a new space launch basis for its domestic satellite program. Iranian officials didn't respond to requests for comment.
The faraway Israeli-Palestinian conflict has raised hackles in the usually peaceful and cosmopolitan Canadian city Toronto, with a speaker trying to whip up a crowd with death threats against Jews and Jewish groups firing back with accusations of hate speech and anti-Semitism.
We cannot bring people from Russia and from Europe to live in the home that my grandfather built. It's unacceptable. It's not justice. And we will restore justice. I want to remind you of how police work. When somebody tried to rob a bank, the police gets in, they don't negotiate, and we've been negotiating with them for 65 years. We say, get out or you're dead. We give them 2 minutes and then we start shooting. And that's the only way that they will understand.
Hazineh was speaking to a crowd of some 400 on Al-Quds Day last week, a holiday that marks Palestinian independence, but it often is used as a soapbox for rhetoric against Jews in Israel.
Good evening and welcome to IBA News, coming to you from Jerusalem.
The outpost of Migron is empty. Residents vacated their homes today, closing a chapter in a decade-long dispute over the right to live in the Hilltop settlement. Most of the 50 families agreed to leave quietly, but a few showed defiance and were bolstered by young supporters who attempted to barricade themselves inside some caravans. The fateful day finally came to Migron this morning, and it was a largely peaceful, subdued evacuation. A large number of police, backed by border police and soldiers, came to the outpost to hand out eviction notices to a dozen or so families who had not agreed to a voluntary relocation.
This is a very unsimple day for the people of Migron. There's nothing really you can say. The decision has been made, we respect it. And the people hope to come back here as soon as they can, whenever the government will once again allow them to come back here and resettle this hill.
At one point, some 50 youth who were not from Migron locked themselves inside and on top of a caravan in protest. Riot control police evacuated them. Some residents argued with the security personnel, but most just ignored them and got on with leaving their homes of the past years. Most of the families have moved temporarily to the nearby Ofra settlement and to their new homes in Givat HaYekev already. Some paused before they left to plant tree saplings on one of the lots they claim to have purchased from the Palestinians. The Supreme Court has given the families until Tuesday to vacate the hilltop since they built their homes without permits on private Palestinian property. The Defense Ministry will remove or demolish the homes there by the 11th of September. Israel Police spokesman, Superintendent Mickey Rosenfeld, said the day passed without any major confrontation.
We have made assessments that there would be a number of disturbances that could take place, but not from the people who lived in the Migron area and who were going to be evacuated. And therefore, from the early hours of the morning, there were roadblocks that were set up in order to prevent any possibilities of disturbances from people coming out from the other side of the hilltops, etc. From what we know is that our roadblocks were efficient and effective, and the only incidents that took place were approximately 15 people that had gone inside one of the apartments, which was quickly evacuated. But on the scene itself, 8 arrests were made of teenagers, youngsters who had caused public disturbances.
And now JLTV presents the World News.